Hi, this is Lisa with Habitat for Humanity of Greater Sioux Falls, and today I'm going to be talking with you about our homeownership program. This video is being recorded for the benefit of all of those who are interested in applying for our application drive that is starting June 1st and goes through June 30th of 2022. We know in South Dakota that many households are struggling to find affordable housing, and housing costs are going up as well as rent. So we want to be part of the solution to help families find their way into homeownership. So who are we? Our affiliate is a local nonprofit organization operating since 1989. To date, we've built about 175 homes in the Sioux Falls and Greater Sioux Falls area. Our affiliate service area includes Minnehaha, Lincoln, and Turner counties. And we are aligned in mission with Habitat International. Our mission is seeking to put God's love into action. Habitat for Humanity brings people together to build homes, communities, and hope. Our vision is a world where everyone has a decent place to live. So how do we do the homeownership program? Habitat is the builder, the seller, and the lender for all of our home sales. So Habitat is offering homeowners an affordable mortgage, and then the home buyers' mortgage payments cycle back to help us build more affordable housing in our community. So how do we define affordable? Our homes are sold for appraised value that is determined by a third-party appraisal. Our policy is when we get to do the final underwriting stage with a homebuyer partner family, we calculate their maximum affordable loan payment by looking at their maximum affordable house payment. Their house payment with principal, property taxes, and insurance cannot exceed 30% of their total gross monthly income. So as the lender, Habitat is offering flexible loan terms and loan types that ensure affordability for each buyer. Our maximum loan term is 30 years. So I want to talk to you a little bit about where we plan to build in the 2023 build season, as I know this is what most applicants are interested in, as we only do our application once a year. And the applicants in 2022 are applying for the homes we plan to build in 2023. So the first location where we are currently building and plan to build more homes next year as well is in our Millard Acres development. So we are building twin homes in this neighborhood. They are all slab on grade, which means there's no basement. All the square footage is on one level. There's zero entries, so there's no stairs to enter the house, and no steps or lower level inside the house. So they are 2-bedroom units with 1 bath and 4-bedroom units with 2 baths. This development is in the northeast part of Sioux Falls, and you can see the directions on how to get to this neighborhood. But all of these homes will be built over the next 3 years. We will fill in this neighborhood. So we plan to be building here for at least 2 to 3 more years. The majority of the openings we're going to have for 2023 will be in Millard Acres. And this is the only neighborhood where we have 2-bedroom openings. The other site that we will be building next year is in Granite Valley. And this neighborhood is north of Sioux Falls. It's Sioux Falls address, but it's actually Brandon Valley School District. So we are building 2 single-family homes in partnership with the CTE Academy and Southeast Tech College. And in that partnership, we will build 2 4-bedroom, 2-bath, single-family homes. And these homes will be for families who do need a 4-bedroom home. So Habitat's always looking to acquire new land in our service areas so we can purchase land and build homes anywhere in our Tri-County area. Currently, all of the properties we own are in Sioux Falls, but we are looking to build in any place where we can find affordable land. So there may be an option for a home in Baltic. South Dakota in the next build season. So on your application, we encourage you to fill out your areas of interest and where you would be willing to live. Of course, the more places you're willing to live, the more options you have to find your way into our program. But we anticipate 8 to 12 openings for this application cycle, and we can only select as many families as we have openings. But the majority of those openings will be in Millard Acres. So I just want to introduce you to our construction staff. We have 3 construction staff who work with the Homeownership Program, Paul, Dirk, and Dustin. And then Marcus is our neighborhood revitalization manager. So that is a separate program where we help existing homeowners in the community with small repairs and things that they need help with, things that volunteers would be able to do. So if you're interested in the NR program, that is a separate program. But our partner families who come into the homeownership program are able to work with neighborhood revitalization or new construction as they're working and earning their sweat equity hours, which we'll talk about in a minute. So our construction policy is we can only build homes where we own land. So we are not a custom builder. You don't get an option of what neighborhood or what area of town you want to build a home with us. We pick where we're building. The options that the home buyer has are limited, but there are some options you have related to color and some different things inside the home that you have a choice about. But the home styles, the floor plans, the construction timelines, all of those things are determined by Habitat before the applicants are even selected. So once we select our group of homeowners and have assigned them to addresses, we build our homes with them. And after they purchase their home, they can make any changes or upgrades that they want to make. We just can't modify our construction during the construction process unless there's a reasonable modification or accommodation that's needed due to someone with a disability. So our process and policy as far as our features in the home, our homes are Energy Star certified. They're very energy efficient, which helps with utility costs. The exterior walls are built using insulated concrete form. So for those twin homes in our Millard Acres development, the exterior walls and the wall between you and your neighbor is this ICF poured concrete wall. So it does allow a much better sound barrier than a stick-built construction. Only new construction materials go into our Habitat homes, so nothing from the restore is going into our new construction homes. Appliances, as far as kitchen appliances, they are supplied and included with the house, but no other furnishings come with the homes. So how do we decide where we place people or the lot assignments that we do? So this is a list of the things that we have to consider when we have our final group of qualified applicants after we've completed all our screening processes. We first of all have to look at the size of that household and what the needs are for a number of bedrooms that household qualifies for. So we're looking at the current needs. We can't factor in any future needs or future changes to the household size. We can only go by the current needs. So we look also at the financial status of the applicant and how prepared they are for closing and, you know, saving their money that they need for closing costs. We're also looking at the affordability of the applicants. So we have some homes that are going to appraise and be more expensive than others. So we have to factor that in as we're considering affordability and what home is affordable for a homeowner to purchase. Grant and funding requirements might require somebody from a certain demographic of income range or other demographic that would require us to put a particular family to that home. So there's lots of things we have to consider. We do take people's preferences into consideration, but we can't guarantee that you'll get assigned to the neighborhood or the particular lot that you're most interested in. What we can offer is a modest, affordable home with an affordable payment. So that is our policy. If you do outgrow the home in the future, you have the option to sell and to move, just like any other homeowner. But Habitat only works with a household or a family one time. So once you become a homeowner in our program, we are not going to assist you as you go to purchase another home in the future. So who makes the decisions? The Family Selection Committee is who I work with to process all the applications. They are a committee of volunteers from the community. They're volunteering and donating their time to help me review all the applications and determine which applicants meet our criteria and qualify for our program. So after we finish through all the processing steps, the committee makes the selection recommendation to our board of directors. And I do not sit on the board of directors in my role at Habitat. That is a group of another group of volunteers and a couple other staff members who are on the board, but I am not part of that group. And so that decision is made and the board of directors has to approve all applicants. They don't see any applicant names as they're reviewing the final applicants. That's all kept confidential. And once the board approves that final group of applicants, then we can enter into partnership and I can notify the applicant they're approved. So the board is determining the number of homes we build each year based on our budget. And our budget year goes from July 1st to June 30th. So I want to talk to you about our selection criteria. So applicants must be living or working within Minnehaha, Lincoln, or Turner County for at least 12 months before they're eligible for our program. They also must be a US citizen or a permanent legal resident. So if you don't meet one of those criteria, as soon as you do meet it, then you would be eligible to apply. Household size is the next thing that we're looking at as we evaluate an application, because this affects your application in a couple of different ways. So your household size includes you as the applicant, and then any other adults or children who live with you and are expected to be living with you in the Habitat home. But if there are minor children or children under the age of 18 that you're listing on your application, they must be your dependent children or children of another adult who resides in your household. So after we know the household size, we're going to evaluate your application based on need, ability to pay, and willingness to partner. So these are the three criteria that all applicants must meet before they can be qualified for our program. So all three do need to be met. It isn't sufficient for you to just have a need, but not have ability to pay. And so all three do need to be met. So first, we're looking at need, and we're verifying and calculating an applicant's income. So this is where household size is important and how many people you're including on your application. The more people in your household, the higher the minimum income limit requirement is. So the figures you're seeing here would be your gross annual income. So for the applicants, their gross annual income needs to meet the minimum number that you see there in the income range, and the household income, which would include the income of any other adults who are 21 and older in the home. The combined total household income cannot be above the maximum number in the income range that you see on the chart. So we have two different eligibility here. We have general eligibility income range for all the applicants. And then if somebody's in a special occupation, such as teachers, veterans, military, first responders, or frontline healthcare workers, we're allowing a special income eligibility of a higher household income limit for those specific occupations. So if you have any questions about the income chart, there is a handout on our website that you could refer to. Otherwise, let me know if you have questions. The second piece of need, once we know somebody's in our income range, the applicant also has to have at least one housing need issue. So you see a list here of some examples of what we would consider a housing need. So it could be something related to financial and being able to get approved for a loan, or it could be related to something that's going on with your current housing that makes it inadequate or substandard. So you see a list here. This is not an exhaustive list, but there has to be at least one item that we can document as a housing need. So the next category is ability to pay. So when we're looking at ability to pay, this relates just to the applicants, not the other members of the household, because the applicants are the individuals who are going to partner with us and be officially in partnership. They sign the partnership agreement, and they're also the ones who are obligated to repay the home loan. So they become the borrowers as well as the applicants who are building with us. So the total income of the applicants is what needs to meet the minimum income requirement. And there can be a co-applicant, and that co-applicant does not need to have a separate source of income. So these are some other features of ability to pay. So applicants have to have steady, reliable income that can be expected to continue for 3 years or beyond. For credit score, we're looking for a 580 or higher for those who have established credit. If you don't have established credit, we're looking at 3 sources of other verifiable 12-month payment history, such as rent, utilities, or other histories. For debt, there is a debt limit. So your monthly debt cannot be more than 18% of your gross monthly income. And this is a new standard for this year. So that we can provide affordable housing, we also have to know that our applicants are not exceeding 18% of their income going to debt. Delinquent debt, such as county aid liens, judgments, or collections, that total number cannot exceed $3,000 if you have any kind of delinquent debt. That debt has to be paid off in full over the course of your partnership. If you do get selected into our program and you're carrying derogatory debt, that debt has to be paid off. So that's why we limit it at $3,000. If you've experienced a bankruptcy in the past, you must be at least 2 years since bankruptcy discharge to be eligible for our program. And then finally, you need to be willing and able to save $2,000 to pay for the closing costs. So if you don't have that money saved at the time of selection, that would be a goal that you would work toward. And our last category is willingness to partner. So during the application process, willingness to partner means that you are going to provide us with accurate and honest information on your application. You're going to respond promptly to requests for additional information or documentation. Most applicants, there's at least 2 times that we ask for supporting documents. So at the time of application, and then about a month or so into our process, for those who pass the initial screening, we'll have a second set of checklist items we need you to supply. So the important piece with willingness to partner during the application is you must notify us if there's any changes or updates to your application. So if you have a new addition to the family, you have a new baby, job status, employment changes, somebody gets a new job, you change employers, we need to be made aware of those changes so that we can update your application and make sure that you still qualify to proceed in the process. So once people are in partnership and they've been approved and selected for our program, they must commit to working sweat equity. So these are hours that are earned through working construction to help to build your home and other people's homes, and also home buyer education. So we require each household has to work 300 hours or earn 300 hours before they are eligible to purchase a home through our program. So household members who are 16 years old and older can help toward those hours. and also people outside your household, so people who aren't on your application, help. You earn your required hours, but there is a limit on how many hours can come from people outside your household. Of course, if anybody has a physical limitation or restriction, we will work with them and provide modifications to our sweat equity program that are reasonable so that they can still participate in the program. We are open to anyone of any ability level to come and be part of our program. So as a partner family, Habitat requires that our partner families have to follow all the policies of Habitat and complete all the partnership requirements before they can purchase a home. This includes maintaining your ability to pay and your willingness to partner and follow the sweat equity policies. Maintaining open lines of communication. So this is something Habitat is committing to with you as well. So we are going to keep you updated on construction timelines and plans, and request that you be flexible because we just can't guarantee a construction deadline or timeline. We do our best to keep everybody informed, and we ask you to do the same. So in our program, you're going to be working alongside Habitat staff and public volunteers to build your home and to work to help build other Habitat homes. So we rely on about hundreds of volunteers from the community working thousands of hours each year to help us build our Habitat homes. So once somebody purchases their home with us, Habitat requires that the home must be their primary residence as long as they have an outstanding loan. So the home must be owner occupied. Habitat homes can be sold, but there are resale policies and restrictions that may apply. Once somebody takes ownership, that homeowner performs all the repairs and maintenance of the home. And of course, part of willingness to partner is committing to make a monthly house payment on time each month, because we rely on those mortgage payments to help us build more homes. And finally, we just want to give an overview of the application process. So here's a slide that shows you the steps to homeownership. From the time of application until you're in a home is typically 18 to 24 months. That's the goal that we set as we set our application process and our plans for construction. So you can see here the steps to an application being submitted and reviewed and approved, and then partnership starting. And then we have final loan underwriting that we do within about 60 to 90 days of closing. Once an applicant has completed all the partnership requirements and has final loan approval, then they purchase their home and we celebrate with a dedication ceremony. So every application is going through the same processing steps. It's important for us to make you aware that Habitat is not a waiting list program, so you don't sign up for Habitat and wait until your name gets to the top of the list and then you get a home. That is not how the program works. So it's an application-based program. No preference is given to past applicants or to applicants who are first to apply. So we want people to take their time, fill out their application well, get it in as soon as possible once they have it complete. But every application will equally be considered and processed in the same fashion. So our goal is to select the next group of applicants by January of 2023. And then those applicants would start building their homes in the spring and summer of 2023. So anyone who's denied for the program can reapply. So if your application is denied, you would be notified within 30 days of that denial decision and the reason for denial. And this is important because if you were denied because you didn't meet one of our selection criteria of need, willingness to partner, ability to pay, then it's important for you to know that so you know what to work on before you would consider reapplying. Every application is going to be approved or denied by the end of our process. So no applications can be left pending into the following year. Every application will have a decision. The other piece is it's important to know that even qualified applicants can be denied. And this would only happen if we have more qualified applicants than we have openings in the program. We can't serve everyone then in that case, so we have to pick the families we feel have the greatest need for that particular year, and the remaining applicants would be denied. So denied applicants can always reapply in the future, but it's important for you to understand your denial reason so you know if you were a qualified applicant or not. So to get an application this year, we have a new process in that all applicants are required to complete an eligibility questionnaire before they can obtain an application packet. So this is to help you be informed about the program and help us help you kind of evaluate your readiness for the program, and to know if there'd be any red flags or issues that would keep you from being eligible this year. So our official open time for our application this year is June 1st. So that's when we can start receiving applications, and the deadline to apply is June 30th. So all of the instructions will be in the application packet. There'll be a checklist of documents that you need to gather and make copies of, and then the application form itself. So once you have all those pieces, then your application is complete. Make sure you've signed every place that requires a signature. And once you have everything ready to go, then you can either mail the application or you can drop it off in our Dropbox that's located right inside our Restore entrance. But the applications do need to be received by June 30th at 5 p.m. Or if you're mailing them, they have to be postmarked by June 30th. So any questions you have about your application, I would invite you to call me or send me an email, and I'd be happy to address those with you. But in-person access to me is restricted and requires an appointment. My office hours are Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5:30. But it's important to also know if you're dropping off an application. Our Restore building, which is where my office is at in the back of the Restore, the Restore building is only open to the public Tuesday through Saturday. So we're closed on Mondays. And Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 6 are the hours that you can gain entrance to the building. And just finally, I want to inform you that we're always looking for volunteers for our program. There is no experience required for you to volunteer in our new construction or neighborhood revitalization, or even to come in and work in our Restore. We use volunteers there as well. But all of our volunteer work is coordinated by Brittany Banstra, and you can see her contact information there, and I'm sure she'd be happy to visit with you if you're interested in learning more about Habitat by volunteering on one of our job sites. So she's available Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. So that is how our homeownership program works and what we have planned for 2023. So if you're interested in applying or if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I would also encourage you to go to our website at siouxfallshabitat.org, and you can see some videos there for our current partner families we're working with and get a lot of other information and resources as well. So best wishes to you as you pursue affordable homeownership.